Now, hello, good evening. I'm going to talk about, and I may or may not post this, I'm going to talk about something. I posted that video of who the hell is Techno Viking? Who am I? Well, I mentioned in there, I'm medically retired recently. I've deployed a few times. And I'm now playing the civilian game. I'll go a little further, because I can't jump in all at once. I was medically retired because, number one, my back is messed up. Got a bad back. I was a paratrooper. Jump out of airplanes. Not the fall that'll kill you, it's the landing. The abrupt stop at the end, right? Well, they also don't mention rolling vehicles is bad for your back as well. I was a gunner on a big effing truck. The driver was driving at night, new driver. He couldn't see, I couldn't see. There was a little drop, thank God. We dropped. I couldn't get all the way in the vehicle. I hit my side, twisted my back a little bit, and just went downhill from there. My back. Still hit 2 more deployments, so it wasn't bad, but it's getting there. So my back, number 1. Number 2, sliced my fingers half off working on my truck. Once I got sewn back on, I can't bend it past this. I can do this, but this knuckle and this knuckle aren't working right. It's hard to pull a trigger. Now I could shoot left-handed, I'm sure. I could just, practice using the other hand. But that was just kind of my opinion that God was saying, you know what, get out. Because by then, the doc had been telling me over and over. Every time I saw the doc, he's like, it's only going to get worse. I'm like, yes, you tell me that every time. He's like, well, it is. I'm like, okay, you got any good news? He's like, no, I'm afraid not. It's only going to get worse. He's like, you got any other job occupations, possibilities, prospects? I'm like, no, I'm in the Army. I haven't been putting out applications. He's like, you might want to consider that. Why? He's like, you're not going to get better. Your back is done, son. You might think about a desk job. So here I am working a desk job, getting fat and happy. Third, I'm not a believer in PTSD. I feel it's been overdiagnosed. I know a lot of shitbags who haven't done a goddamn thing in a war zone who come back and they claim PTSD to get benefits. I got bad enough that my wife looked me in the eye and she said, if you don't go talk to someone, I am taking your children and I am going away and we are never coming back. And you won't see your children, ever. So I got mad. Like, fine, I'll go somewhere. And when I come back and tell you that they say I'm normal and you're insane, aren't you gonna eat your words? So I went to my counselor. I said, hello, counselor. She said, why are you here today? I said, I'll be honest. My wife accuses me of having PTSD, and she laughed at me. I'm like, why are you laughing? And she said, well, I never heard it put that way before. My wife accuses me of having PTSD. I said, well, she does, and I don't, so I'm here so that you can tell me I don't, so I can go home and tell her I don't. And she said, I love the spouses because they make guys come in here when they won't. They see things that they don't see, yada, 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 blah, 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 okay, whatever. By the end of that conversation, she's like, I'm certain you have PTSD and you need to see me some more. So, unfortunately, you're not going to tell your wife that she wins. Well, crap, you're full of shit too, right? So I go home, and I get to thinking. And I keep seeing this girl. Counselor, that is. This girl. An older lady. She's a cute little old lady. And I told her, no meds. Fuck meds. I don't need meds. Meds are a crutch. I viewed it as, if I needed that to get by day to day, I was never going to get better. Part of that comes from when I was growing up. I had an ankle brace on once. I kept wearing it, or it was a knee brace. And one day I walked in and Dad said, take that shit off. I'm like, but my knee hurts. And he said, you're not going to get any better if you keep using that damn thing. Take it off and walk normal. And he was right. You know, you can't get past a certain point if you don't get rid of the crutch. So that was my view on meds. A few months later, I knew all the techniques. I knew how to breathe. I knew how to detox, de-stress. All the methods were there. All of them. But when I was flipping out, I couldn't use them. It just, when I flipped out, I flipped out. There was no thinking. There was no, okay, I should breathe now. Haha, I can control this. None. I went from 0 to fucking insane. No in between. There was no, hey, I should stop myself now. I didn't see it coming. Never saw it coming. Ever. I go to my counselor, I'm like, fine, let me try meds. She's like, well, I can't give you any meds. You need a psych for that. I'm like, well, how do I see a psych? She's like, get an appointment. So I got an appointment to see a psych. It took a while to get in. I finally got in. I told her pretty much everything that I've been telling this lady for months. I even gave her a contact number so I didn't have to retell all the story. Friggin' finally, she's like, well, we'll try a little pill and see how that does. Worked great. No, seriously, it worked great. I was able to take a breath when times got tough. When before I snapped, I was able to see it coming. That was the first time that I was able to go, oh, hey, I'm getting upset. It's about to get bad. I should at least go for a walk so that when it's bad, I'm not yelling at people who have nothing to do with why I'm pissed off. So I go back to my counselor and I'm like, hey, I got these meds, works awesome. She's like, well, what do they got you on? I'm like, 25 milligrams. She's like, holy crap, I've never seen anyone on such a little dose and have it work. I'm like, thanks, that makes me feel like crap. And she's like, no, seriously, if you did not have PTSD, this pill would do absolutely nothing for you. It would have no effect whatsoever. That's when my eyes opened. That was the proof I needed in my own head to finally say, you know what? I'm fucked up. You know what? I got problems. I'm more normal when I take meds. It was proof to me that I could handle it with help. I wasn't crazy. Well, I was crazy, but not, it wasn't my wife saying, oh, something's wrong with you, and me going, there's nothing wrong with me, there's something wrong with me. Now, back to where I was kind of beginning with this. I thought PTSD was a sham. I know many out there who think it's a sham. I was convinced it's a bullshit diagnosis that little weenies use to try and get benefits because they don't want to be in the military anymore, but they don't want to work for a living. And I'm here to say, personally, I was wrong. I don't like that I have it. I don't like for people to know I have it. But I do have to admit that I have it. So for those of you out there, you kind of know you got it, but you're fighting it. For those of you out there who believe it's a sham, but you've been there, done that, come see me. Message me. Once you get past that hatred for the shitbags that we all know who didn't do shit, you realize that there's a few guys out there who earned it. Nobody gives them credit for earning it because of the shitbags. Nobody wants to admit it. No guy worth his weight wants to admit he has it. Who actually has it. That's a bloody shame. It's fucked up that it's this hard for a guy like me to admit I have this. And that's just not acceptable. Not for the guys who actually been there, done that, and earned it. No. You got it. Talk to someone. Get some help. I don't like counselors, but mine's pretty cool. So, let someone know. You'll feel a lot better, and you will actually, you'll make improvements. Start getting your life back. Because you know it's not your life right now. But that's all I'm going to say tonight. Like I said, I may post this, I may not. Hope you have a good evening.